Serving as an Air Force First Sergeant, our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Deep End with Nebraska diver Reagan Hinzig and Nebraska swimmer Madison Ronquillo on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're in.
Oh, okay.
Setting up the mics here. Welcome into the Deep End on Ticket Weekends. I am here with, of course, the host of the show, Reagan Hinzig, and Madison Ronquillo. I'm Harrison Arns, just running the board for these guys. But it sounds like you guys might as well start promoting it now. You'll be joining Fitness Fanatics this upcoming Sunday.
Yep.
9:30 a.m.
Yeah, 9:30 a.m. Show starts at 9:30, so you guys go about for an hour and a half on that show. We just got done with it. We just had Longoria's in here kind of breaking down what they do. So that was a good show. Make sure you check out the podcast. And for this show, if you guys have any questions, hit up the Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Or you can also watch the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream if you want to put a face to the voice. We got that on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, and Twitter. So really anywhere you want. But guys, I'll kind of throw it to you. How's the week been?
Long.
Long.
We had a meet yesterday
Sorry.
at Kansas.
Mm-hmm. How'd that?
So,
Well, I'll let you get into that when you want. But I'm curious to how that one went.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to do that first, or you want to do highs and lows first?
Let's mix it up. Let's talk about the meet first.
Okay. So we had our dual meet against Kansas yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we left at like 9:15, and we didn't get there until like 12:20 because we passed where we were supposed to get lunch. So we had to turn around and go get lunch.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Because we were driving, and all of a sudden we like go off the highway, and then we get back on, go in the opposite direction. I was like, what?
Yeah, we passed the Panera. So we had to drive back like 20 minutes.
Oh man, you missed it by 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm
That's what that
sure. I'm sure the driver got an ear about it.
I
That
have
sucked.
no idea. But
I could see Pat just like sitting there straight faced.
Yeah, but then the football team like made it a very important stop on 3rd down, and you could just see Pat go, yes, and then. So I think it was okay.
Yeah, something
But-
was distracting him.
Yeah. But yeah, then we got there at like 12:20. The meet started at 2, so it was very stressful for me at least, because we had to warm up
Mm.
in dry land, and then we had to warm up in the pool, and we were like, ah, because it was just like not a lot
Gotta
of time.
go. Gotta go.
But I was really nervous because I haven't done 4 of my 6 dives on 3 meters since the Minnesota duel, because I've just been like in and out of the pool with like injuries and stuff. So I was very nervous for that, but it ended up being okay. I got 3rd on 3 meter, and I ended up getting my zone cut on 3 meter.
Woo!
And then for those who don't know, my zone cut is like you have to get a certain score to be able to go to the meet to qualify for NCAAs. So I got that cut, so I'm able to go to that meet. And then 1 meter, I got 2nd, and I wouldn't say I did very well, but I scored points, so that's all that matters.
Especially when the score came down to like the last relay, the very end.
Yeah,
That was fun.
that was crazy. We were like, we weren't even screaming go or anything.
No,
We were
it
just
was
like,
It's just making noise at that point.
yeah.
At one point too, for one of the relays, like I was on the ground on my hands and knees because we were in lane 1 too.
Yeah.
So every time they were breathing this way, I was like maybe like 2 feet away from their face, like just screaming, like gotta go, go. So yeah, I love it when the meets get like that and you just like start screaming.
Yeah.
And like it was super echoey in there too.
Oh my goodness.
So the voices traveled.
There was one time where this girl was doing a dive, and somebody dropped their hydro flask on the pool deck, and it was like doom, 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 doom. And like you could just hear it, and she ended up doing a really good dive. But if she messed up, she would have been able to like be like, can I get a redo? Because like that's very distracting, and it was like in the stands that are like right across from the 1 meter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it was one of the KU girls. But
wait, that's
still.
allowed for a redo?
If there's something distracting, like Tom Daly did it in the Olympics because people aren't allowed to record with flash, and everybody was recording with flash, and it like messed up his spotting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if there's like, so I'm like in high school, I was talking to my dad, and I was like, Dad, if I ever do a bad dive, just like fall down the stairs, please. And he's like, okay.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
So the judges just decide, or is there like a certain like barometer that they're looking
The
at?
judges can like, you can walk up to them and you have to like be like, hey, I request a redo, and they have to approve it. But it's not like yesterday it was pretty, because she was like in the middle of her approach, so like it was substantial enough to be if she wanted to redive, she could have gotten it.
Okay, but they can't say no if they're like it wasn't that loud.
They
or-
can say no. Yeah.
Okay, but that one was the hydro flask. Sounded
It was
like
loud.
kind of like when you drop a spoon in the middle of the night when you still live with your parents and
Uh-huh.
you're like getting a late snack and you hear the spoon drop and you're just like, oh my god, it makes so much noise.
Uh-huh. It sounded like when you dropped your water bottle coming back from the houses from the recruiting weekend, but like it had an echo to it.
Oh, yeah.
So it was, but yeah. How'd swimming go?
The swimming was good. Okay, so the very setup of the pool, I was very surprised by because they have 2 separate pools. One is 25 yards where they compete. It's 6 lanes, but then they have an 8-lane, 25-meter pool, like 20 feet away.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting in that sense. So, and we only had 3 lanes in each pool. So then you obviously can't fit 15 of us in 3 lanes. That would just make for a terrible warm up. So he split us up.
Mhm.
And so we had 15 minutes in one pool, 15 minutes in the other, and then 15 minutes just straight open for us to do like our pace
Mhm.
in the open pool. And like that went pretty good. But for like the weirds the 6-lane pool, it was obviously very old. It had like a weird like dip in the middle where it got deeper, and then it was shallow on both ends.
Was it super shallow?
Not super shallow.
Like not Omaha shallow?
No, not Omaha shallow. Like I could comfortably do a flip turn, but like
Okay.
it was still way shallower than Devaney. But anyways, it was a fast pool. Like the water felt fast, and I was very surprised by it just because of like the layout. Like you don't normally expect a pool that looks like that to feel so fast.
Okay, I have a question.
Hmm.
How does water feel fast?
I wanted to ask the same thing.
I don't know.
Does depth play into it?
Yes, the depth and like how well the waves settle in the
Oh,
water.
okay. So if you get rid of all the choppy water from like, because I always wondered that, because when you have
Mhm.
lines of swimmers going, that water gets so rough.
Yes.
So some pools you
Well,
say
that's the
like
point
can
of the
be-
lane lines.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like you're still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some pools do better job at keeping those waves down.
Yes, keeping the waves down, and then also like how well a current can form within the lane. So like,
okay.
so you have the lane lines obviously blocking the waves on each side, but since we kind of swim like in a circle, us constantly swimming in a circle makes it like into a current. And then also like you said earlier, the depth of the pool. So like the deeper you go, the like slower you go, just because the water is so much more dense. But then also how the currents change between the depths of the
Mhm.
pool, and sometimes it helps when it's a shallower pool. You don't have as much of like a dense current at the bottom because it's not as deep. And so for me, I usually feel it like on like the flip turns and like going in and out of the wall, because there are some pools where you swim up to like the wall and you just completely stop. Especially for backstroke, when I flip onto my stomach to flip, sometimes I can keep my momentum, but then there's other times where I just flip and I'm just like, I'm going nowhere.
I would think that pool wouldn't be as fast based on those conditions because it's attached to the diving well. Like maybe like during practices it's slower because the divers create so many waves.
Yeah.
like, within it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point. But I mean, there were 2 lane lines on that side.
Yeah.
Between like the diving well and the like swimming pool.
I didn't know the point of lane lines. I was like, why can't you just have a rope? For a long time. And then they were like, it stops the waves. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah, swimming without lane lines makes it feel like you're swimming in the ocean.
Like completely stops it, or like pretty
It
close?
minimizes it.
A lot, like quite a bit.
Huh.
Like
okay.
in big like NCAAs, they'll put 2 lane lines in between each lane to like stop the water even more.
Oh, it's okay. So those okay. I guess never really put that together. Yeah, a rope isn't going to be effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you said the water felt fast. Did it
Yes.
reflect on your time?
No. It reflected on the 50 and the 100, but the 50 and the 100. But the thing about that pool too was for some reason the color of the flags just wasn't popping out to me, and I would hit the flags, and then I'd suddenly be like, it would like there was like a lag in my brain. I'd be like, oh wait, I have to turn now, and so my turns weren't too great, which is what slowed me down a little bit for the 200 and stuff. But yeah.
So that was more just like not necessarily the water. It was more just I don't know, not even fundamentals. I don't know, just a little bit of brain fog.
Yeah, brain fog, and then also just like not being used to it.
Mm-hmm.
The term Pablo kept throwing the term like home pool advantage around, and that was very much true.
Very much the case.
Yeah.
Is that hard to adjust to pools that you've never been to? Like, is it
Yeah.
considerably harder to have good scores times when you're going in a foreign pool?
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first.
Yes. Well, yesterday, their 3 meters are built on A-frames, which are like the plastic things that hold the board up at like community pools and stuff.
Yep, the
And-
real kind of bouncy ones.
Yeah, and it makes the board shake left to right instead of just up and down. So like ours, we basically have really sturdy A-frames at Devaney, but they're concrete.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not technically an A-frame, so it keeps the board in check basically. And so it takes a lot more time to get used to A-frames when you're not used to A-frames.
And
if
you
that
said
makes
your
sense.
warm-up was pretty rushed too, because you had that late Panera meal where you had to turn
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, and then the 1 meter, under the 1 meters is like there's a room, and that's where like all the pool maintenance is. And so the 1 meters literally shake. I don't know if you felt that on that side of the pool.
No.
But it was like shaking back and forth. And I asked the Kansas girls, I was like, does it always shake like this? And they're like, yeah. And then Landon comes over and he's like coaching me on something, and he stops like mid-sentence and he's like, is it shaking over here? And I'm like, yeah.
Like the very ground.
The ground was shaking.
Oh, it's that noticeable. Where your coach just had to stand there for a few seconds.
Not the
and he
boards
felt it.
themselves. The ground was shaking. Yeah.
They got to fix that, Kansas. You can't have that.
And then the 1 meter boards were literally just the board, and it scared me because I'm a very clumsy person, so I like the railings because I was so scared I was just gonna fall off.
Yeah.
So they definitely had a home field advantage on the diving side, and they were on fire yesterday especially during 3-meter. They were just hitting dive after dive after dive. And I was like, just land on your head. Just land on your head.
Is that what the scouting report said, or they play way above the scouting report?
What do you mean?
Like going into that meet, I'd imagine you kind of know who their best athletes are.
They had a couple freshmen that we had no idea what they were.
Oh, really?
We had no idea what they looked like going into it.
And they balled out though, huh?
Yeah, well, there was a girl from the Netherlands and there was a girl from Mexico City, and they both just that's the sound of ripping. I don't know if that made it sounded like I was hacking a loogie. But like they were just like shredding their dives, dive after dive after dive after dive, and I was like, how am I supposed to compete with this? I haven't done my dives in a month, yada yada yada. But I like tried not to think about it. But the one girl, the bald girl, she jumped so high, I swear she touched the ceiling.
I saw
she
her
jumped so high.
For one of her like warm-up dives, she like flung herself like halfway across the diving well, and I was like, what is going on over there?
It was crazy.
That'd be a cool event. How far you can dive.
Well, there's an event. It's not like real diving, but like, you know, the people that jump off 10-meter and try to make the biggest splash or something. That's a thing.
How far they can go off,
or like how big their splash can go, or how big their splash can be. So they like purposefully land wrong. But like right because it doesn't hurt, but like wrong because it doesn't look good.
Yeah. That
I think I've seen those where they they do like a can opener just to get
basically
massive splash.
And I'm like, dude,
I feel like that hurt a lot.
I'd have to go to the bathroom afterwards. Like that would hurt. But yeah, they definitely had a home field advantage, like diving wise. But swimming wise, I don't know.
I think it was swimming wise just because of like the change in depth in the pool, and at Devaney it's the same depth all the way around, and that really messes with like your depth perception and where you are in terms of like coming up from your underwaters into your breakout. I can kind of like guess like how deep I am and whether or not I need to do a couple kicks before I can start like moving my arms. So yeah, I would say yes. And like that was a majority of my warm up too, was trying to figure out the pool.
Yeah.
And it even messed me up too, knowing that not realizing that the other pool was 25 meters, because I did a 25 counting my strokes, and I was like, why did I just have to do 3 extra strokes? Like, what is wrong? And then someone finally told me it's meters. And I was like, oh, that's good. Okay.
Thank you for telling me that vital information.
Thank you. So, yeah, it was fun though. Like at the very end, me and Reagan were standing on the side of the pool deck because I'm not in the last relay because I don't swim freestyle, and we were just cheering our heads off. It was fun.
Go! Turned into
just making noise.
It was funny. I had a good time.
Yeah, I did too. Plus, oh gosh, it was so nice getting back on the bus when there was still sunlight.
Dude, yeah.
And like not just like sitting in complete dark for 6 hours after a meet.
That bus ride felt so long. It was only like 4 hours, but it felt so long.
Yeah.
I don't know. I slept for a little bit, and then the people behind me started doing karaoke. And I was like, well, I'm not sleeping anymore.
Yeah, they did have a really loud karaoke session at the end.
Well, I got off the bus, and Pablo was like, were you leading the karaoke? And I was like, no, I was not. And then I got off the bus. But yeah.
That's funny.
So the Jayhawks did come away with that one.
Yeah, it came down to the last relay.
Yeah, I saw the score. It was pretty close. But obviously some good things came out of it. Reagan, you said you've competed well enough, so now you're eligible for NCAAs.
I'm eligible to compete at the meet to qualify. It's a really complicated thing.
Okay.
But yes, I've now got my zone cut on both 1 and 3.
Is there like a way where if you are just incredible, you can skip the meet to qualify, or no, you always have to go through that qualification meet?
You always have to go through that qualification, but like if you're amazing, you can get at the first meet. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh, okay. So you have like multiple opportunities?
It's every meet.
Oh, okay.
Every meet you have like if you get the score, you can go.
Okay, that makes sense.
But before COVID, it used to be if you get the score on one board, you can go on all 3.
Huh.
Now it's like you have to get the score on each board.
Why would that change during COVID?
Because they didn't want as many people
Oh, that makes sense. So they're really just trying to cut down numbers.
Well, during COVID, they you had to send in your dives every time you got a score or a cut, and they chose the top, only the top so many scores.
Mhm.
So it was more like swimming when they qualify for NCAAs.
Okay.
But now it's back to somewhat normal
And when do those start? Those qualification meets
after Big Tens.
after Big Tens. Okay, so you got to wait. But it's nice to have that out of the.
It's nice to
out of
have
the-
that cushion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just know it's like, okay, I'm good. You can work your way up into form.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a great meet, you're still set for qualifications.
Well, now I can compete new dives and not have to worry about getting a certain score.
Oh, that's very true. You don't have to worry. You're there. So now, are you going to try to implement? Do you think?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what the coaches usually go for?
Yeah, that's kind of the goal.
Okay. And then Madison, what about you? Got any highlights from that dual meet with Kansas that you felt like you grew on some things that you can walk away with, or just learn on some things maybe you didn't do right?
Yeah. I mean, my 100 and my 50 have just been really good this past season, better than past seasons.
Mhm.
So that's been fun. And I went my fastest 50 back in a while, so I'll take it. And the 200, we've been messing around with the strategy a little bit in terms of not going out as fast and kind of building into it. But this time,
Back halfer?
Back halfer, yeah. We're trying to back half it now. Except I went out a little too easy on the first 100. And so then even Pablo was like, yeah, I thought you died on that third 25. But then you came back and I realized, oh, wait, no, you just went out too slow. So we're still practicing that. But for the 50 and the 100, we'll take it. I'm still waiting on that 2 IM opportunity, though. So maybe, Pat said maybe next meet.
Is that a real coaching thing where everyone's a little different on how if they want to start really fast or start slow, then so it's different for everyone. Every coach has kind of got their philosophy.
Yeah, but then it also really does depend on the swimmer as well.
Mm.
There's some swimmers who just do so much better when they go out as hard as they can and they just hang on. And then you have
That
other
was Pablo. Fly and die.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Well, yep.
So
Pablo-
Michael Phelps would definitely be someone who would start out slow, I feel like. Just because I feel like so many of his gold medals, I remember him coming from behind.
Yeah, I think he's a back halfer.
Yeah.
Molly's a back halfer.
Molly's back halfer. Autumn was a back halfer. Caitlin Kilpatrick, did you see her 1,000?
I saw y'all going crazy because Jenna and Molly had already finished, so they were 1-2, and then KK and this Kansas girl were competing for third, and we were like, we need to sweep, and so they were like, go, she's right there. Every time she breathed to our side, we're not even telling her to go, we're just pointing at the girl next to her, do you see her? And so and she out touched her, right?
Yeah.
I do want to ask, when you're swimming, is it hard to tell where you're at with all the other swimmers with that constant motion going on, or do you have a really good idea oh, they're right next to me, this is going to be a split second finish?
So it depends on the stroke. For backstroke,
Mhm.
I can see people on the underwaters just out of my peripheral.
Right.
And then when I'm above water, I can see their arms coming out in their splash. Sometimes though I mix up their arm splash and their feet splash. So I'm like, oh, we're killing it. And it's actually their feet above my head. But yeah, for the other strokes, for freestyle, it's really easy to see people because you're breathing to the side.
Right.
Butterfly is probably the hardest one just because you're staying your head is straight the whole time, and then when you push off onto your turns in the underwater, your head is also already down.
But don't some people breathe to the side on butterfly?
Some people. The only person that does that is Sarah.
Okay.
I've tried doing that. That's really hard.
I feel like it makes it more complicated.
Yeah. I don't know how she does it. You have to come up out of the water higher because you can't turn your neck all the way around, and so you just got to come up higher. But yeah, sometimes though there is that sixth sense, you just feel someone next to you.
You can probably feel the crowd getting really loud too if you're towards the front, and if people are freaking out, you're like, oh, there's probably someone right behind me.
Yeah.
So I always wondered that because I'm not a great swimmer, obviously, compared to you guys, but I could swim, just do a regular stroke, and I will just start going crooked. I have no idea where I'm at when I'm swimming. It's just the eyesight thing. So that's kind of crazy to think about. But we are up to our first break here. This is the Deep End on Ticket Weekends. We're here with Reagan Hinsey, Madison Ronquillo, while I'm Harrison Arns, just running the board for these guys. We'll be back right after this break.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you wanna come and text us,
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take, but it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old. But I am a camping influencer. You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the deep end with Reagan and Madison on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the deep end here on Ticket Weekends. I'm Harrison Arns running the board with host Reagan Hinsey and Madison Ronquillo. We kind of summed up the Jayhawks meet, the dual meet that you guys had. You guys fell just short, kind of came to the wire there at the end. And it sounded like the divers they had were just absolutely on fire that day, putting up a lot of points. So kind of recap that one. Reagan qualified for her NCAA qualifications match. Is that what you call it? The qualifications?
It's called a zone meet.
Zone meet?
So when I get the cut, it's called like the zone cut.
Okay, makes sense. So she qualified for the zone meet. So now she gets to work on some new dives. Hopefully, she's kind of got that wrapped up. But we want to switch up here to highs and lows. Is that where we're going?
Yep.
All right. We'll start with you guys.
Go for it.
My high was so I got to go to this donor appreciation luncheon, and it was for the donors who currently fund like scholarships. And last Big Tens, I got the sportsmanship award, and it came with like this scholarship that's specifically dedicated to swimming and cross country. And so then the name on there was like Mr. and Mrs. I can't remember the first name, but the last name was Perry. And so then their daughter is the one that like organized the scholarship, and she was there at the luncheon. And so the point of it was to go and like meet them, and it was really cool. And they were like so cute, like this little like old couple, and they just like really big Husker fans, and they had daughters who swam. One daughter who was an All-American cross country at Michigan, and the other one was a swimmer All-American at Michigan as well.
Whoa.
And she was like, oh yeah, she got like third and fourth at Olympic trials. And I was like, what the? And then she was like, oh yeah, I remember watching Pablo when he got third at Olympic trials, and then the next one he made it, and the whole crowd just erupted. And I was like, wow, okay. So like you really know your stuff about swimming then. So it was just like a really good conversation. I enjoyed it.
You know what I think is weird? That Pablo swam without a cap and goggles.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like my eyes would burn.
Yeah. I can't even like kick on a kickboard without goggles now at this point.
That's got to be pretty rare to see, right?
It was more common back then.
More okay.
It's like practically unheard of now.
I was gonna say I don't think I've ever seen watching any swim meet someone not have goggles.
Oh yeah, no, that would not happen now. But yeah.
Anyway.
And then my low was that I was feeling sick in the beginning of the week again.
Boo.
Like allergies, or you don't know something else?
I don't know. I think it was just like a little cold, and like just like like when you feel like super groggy.
Yeah.
Like no energy, and then I had like a runny nose, but then it was okay. I got over it in time for the meet. Now we're good.
My high for the week was I had to conduct in my in front of my class for conducting, and he was like, that was really good. And then he was like, we just need to work on like your facial expressions. You're kind of like a stone face. And I was like, I'm not even kidding. That was my nickname in high school. And everybody just started laughing because my old coach called me stone face because every time they gave me a correction, I just like look at them and like nod.
Yeah.
And so he called me stone face, and he's like, how did that happen? And I was like, I just told him what I just told y'all. And then he was like, guys, do you know what she does in her free time? She's on the dive team here. Isn't that crazy? And everybody was like, whoa. And I was like, thanks.
Wait, well, what did that have to do with being stone faced?
I don't know. Like, I just didn't show emotion when I was conducting.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was like so
no,
focused
I mean
on
the
like
diving. Why did he suddenly bring up diving?
Because I said something about like my old coach.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
Okay.
But I just thought it was like a wholesome moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was cute. That was fun.
Aw.
And then my low for the week, I got in my car on Friday to go to French, and my key wouldn't come out of the fob.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
And so I go inside, and I like try to like get like I use like a knife or something to like try to jimmy it out, and it breaks off.
I was gonna say I don't know if that's the best
No.
tool.
My key broke off. I have a picture. I'll show you a break. And so I call my dad, and I'm like, Dad, you have my spare key. I can't get to class. What do I do? He's like, go to Walmart. And I'm like, okay. I went to Walmart, and they're like, we can't help you. And I'm like,
oh,
really?
Okay.
No.
And then I called him back, and I was like, they rudely told me that they couldn't help me. And he was like, okay, let me make a few calls. I'll call you back. And he's like, go right now to Husker Lock and Key and ask for Shelly. And so that's exactly what I did. And now I have a new key fob with a brand new key, but the key fob isn't the one that's built for my car, so the remotes don't work on it. So I have to unlock my car manually all the time.
Got to get the chip for it.
Yeah. But just the manual unlocking will do.
How'd they get the broken key out, they say?
The key never went into the ignition. So it was fine.
So it just broke off the fob.
It broke off the fob. Like in the house.
But it was like you couldn't just use that thing.
If
that
I
broke
get
off?
that in, I'll never get it out.
There's some skepticism in Madison's eye.
I guess I don't think I'm imagining it right.
Yeah, I thought it was like in the ignition stuff.
No.
Oh, that would be a whole other problem.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say the car was running.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, there's no way you could have turned that.
No, it's literally the base of the key is just it's busted.
You can't see it, but yeah. So that was my low for the week because I didn't go to class at all and I was freaking out all day. But
I feel like that's when you can tell the teachers to be like, I had a crazy morning. Here's a picture of my key. Like
I sent an email to them asking for the homework or like asking for the PowerPoint for the day, and neither one of them responded to me.
That's
what?
rude.
And I was like, okay.
Just send an email attachment with the broken key.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I was like, here's proof. I can't get to campus.
No mercy.
But yeah, that was my low.
Oh.
Anyway, what was your high and low?
I'll start with my high. My high was Friday night. Got to go to a Lincoln Stars game. Joel Norman has a show here with Rocky Russo. Got me some free tickets. Went to that game, and it was an awesome game. Lincoln Stars games are just so fun.
Did you go on Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when some of the team went.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people there. Nathan Brennan, another guy who works here at the station, was at that game. Jeff, I think that you guys just talked to, Fitness Fanatics, he was at that game. It was pretty full. I forgot there was state volleyball though, which sucked because it's right next to the Devaney where the ice box is. So parking was kind of a nightmare for a little bit there, just because there's all these buses lined up blocking the view. So like when I was pulling out of any driveway, I was like, this is just begging for someone to get T-boned. Like it was not great how I will say the way they had the buses set up, very dumb. Do not have the buses all parked along the exits in it, enters to all the parking spaces because it just felt dangerous. But the game was awesome. Stars win 1-0, got into one fight. One of the Lancers from Omaha took one of the Lincoln Stars players, shoved his helmet into the ice after he hit him. And then our guy got up and he definitely won. He just started to just hit him probably like 5 square shots to the face and then some rib shots. And then the refs got in there.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so when are there games in the ice box and when are there games at the building by like Haymarket or like the baseball field?
Oh, I don't know. I always just go to the ice box.
The one by the Haymarket is for like the club team.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The club hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, all their games are at the ice box. Usually Friday, Sunday they have a game. And Omaha is one of the best teams too in the league. So I think Lincoln Stars still sitting on top of the West. So yeah, great game. That was probably my high. That was just a lot of fun. My low is probably gonna be after the shift because it's been a busy week, and when you just have like dishes stacked up, I have laundry, so I'm probably gonna have to do like 3 loads of laundry today. I have to do the dishes, sweep the floors. It's gonna be a full clean, so it's gonna be another probably 3 hours of cleaning when I get home. I hate doing dishes. I don't mind laundry, but the dishes part. Ugh.
Really? I hate laundry.
Really?
I hate folding my laundry.
Yeah, I will say like I usually hang most of my stuff, so it's not too bad. I don't really have to fold it, but I will say girls' clothes is just weird too. Because if I have to do my girlfriend's laundry trying to fold it, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I can't fold this. It's like 5 strings and like just squares of fabric here and there. Like, I don't know how to fold it. So that's probably my low. It's going to be this afternoon.
What's your least favorite chore?
I don't know. I really like chores.
What?
I really like just like turning on music, putting on the speaker super loud, and just cleaning everything. That's what I did last Thursday. Like, I did a load of laundry, I vacuumed, I took out the trash, I reorganized the trash cans, I did all the dishes, I cleaned, I hand scrubbed my water bottles and boiled like the straw parts.
That's hardcore.
Yeah,
That
I
sounds
went
like a
all
lot.
in. So I don't have. So yeah, I like chores. I can't answer that question.
So if you had to mow the lawn, you'd be like, I'm down.
Oh,
I don't mind mowing the lawn.
Outdoor stuff, I don't even know how to do. So Well, yeah, we'll say mowing the lawn would be
Okay.
least favorite.
Okay.
You like mowing the lawn?
I don't mind it.
Depends on how much space I have to mow. But yeah, I don't mind it either.
And it also depends if I'm like at home and it's 115 degrees.
Yeah, it's also true. When you know it's got to get done, you're like,
Yeah.
it's going to rain tomorrow. And the lawn is like, the grass is 7 inches tall. And like, I can't not do it today. That always works. But I remember when I was growing up, like we were supposed to take shifts mowing the lawn. And felt like I was mowing the lawn a lot, even though I had 3 older brothers. So that always bothered me. But yeah, as far as that, what's the chore that you don't mind doing at all?
Don't mind. I don't mind doing the dishes.
That's crazy. You got the soggy food on the bottom. It's disgusting.
I don't. That is gross, but it's only like a split second.
Yeah, I guess I just get grossed out.
But
pretty
then
easily,
again,
I
I'm
think.
also like none of us. If you go to our house, none of us are probably home. Like we're never home.
Our house doesn't look like it. Our house looks like no one lives in it.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys are just always busy.
Yeah. So like dishes don't have to be done as often as like they have in the past.
I think the last time we ran the dishwasher was like literally a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're never home. We're never home. Like
When you are home, you're getting Uber Eats that Madison sleeps through, and then
Waking up to aggressive knocking on the door.
well, there was like one night where Molly was like, I got home at like 9 and I was the only one home. And we were like, yeah, sounds about right. Because we were probably, it was either probably a Tuesday night or like you were at like the mill or something and I had class or whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you guys have
Crazy.
any other highs this week or anything wild happen from on the way back or on the way on the bus? Any funny bus stories?
just the karaoke. Did you see Pat came and videoed at one point?
Yeah.
Our assistant coach got a new phone and he just likes to, he got what did he get? A 14 or a 14 plus?
He's like 14.
That's the newest one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he just comes back and he's like, yeah, I got a new phone. Let's video this.
I will say, when you get that new phone, like, it's so funny because the one thing I always complain about with iPhones, it's like, great, they added a new camera. And then I'll get an iPhone and I'll go test the camera first thing. I'm like, oh, it's so nice. Look at how sharp the pictures are. It's the number one thing I complain about.
Well,
Are you guys all Apple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he still had an iPhone with a home button.
Oh, so he was way back in time.
Yeah.
It looked like an iPod still.
Yeah.
It was probably like a 7.
Yeah. He also couldn't make a phone call without using his like AirPods. Like he had to use AirPods. to
I've
make a
been there
call.
before. And when I was actually the iPhone 7 when I had to do that. I could only talk to people on speakerphone. So it was really embarrassing if I had a phone call that didn't want to be on speakerphone. I'd have to go like leave the room and then make sure that room was also soundproof because I couldn't be private phone calls. So if it was like a certain name calling me, I'd be like, I am gonna have to leave because I can't take this privately with all you guys.
What else happened this week? Oh, we had a Halloween costume at training table this past Monday.
Oh yeah.
I made it to the finals
with her
really?
with her pumpkin.
My pumpkin head.
It was a good pumpkin helmet.
Yeah.
And she made it on Swim Swam Instagram.
I did.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yep.
Here, I'll go to
I
the
How many
posted-
followers does that thing have?
Swim Swam?
Yeah.
I can look. I
Oh,
can look.
I thought that's what you were looking up.
I was looking up your post. They have 360,000 followers.
Holy crap, nice. Did you get a little media boost after that?
She
I
posted
did not, but
Oh my god.
she posted that and they said you walk into practice and see this, what are you doing? Or something like that.
or no, it was like when you get up on the blocks and see this next to you. What do you do?
Yeah.
So,
That would
yeah.
be intimidating.
Dude, yeah, except now I put it like in front of our garage, like on the side.
And now it's all soggy.
He's all soggy and droopy just because like the weight of him is collapsing. So now he
Yeah.
looks like he's like frowning.
He probably is. Halloween's over.
Yeah.
We're already on to Christmas. Thanksgiving's just getting brushed by already,
Dude, I know.
which is sad because I do like Thanksgiving.
I do too. I like the vibes of Thanksgiving.
hmm We are getting up to our next break, though. We will go to break here. This is the Deep End on Ticket Weekends here with Reagan Hinsey and Madison Ronquillo. We will be back right after this break.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
The division sucks. The Big Ten West sucks right now. And the fact that you should have a chance to win this thing. you should be in there.
Next year is the final year of the Big Ten West.
Yeah, it's not.
And I can't see right now projecting the next year one team having an epic rise. It looks like it's going to be very similar to this year of a hodgepodge.
I have a hard time saying that it sucks.
It's not very good.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Veterans, do you know what local, state, and federal benefits and services you're eligible to receive? Do you want help navigating the application or appeals process? Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. You've served our country, now let us serve you. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to the deep end with Reagan and Madison on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Audrey, this one's for you. Welcome back to the deep end on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Reagan Hinsey, joined with Madison Ronquillo. If you want to call in, we have the Honda of Lincoln hotline at 402-464-5685. And if you'd like to text in, we also have the Starter Hammond text line also at 402-464-5685. And for the last segment, if you would like to see our beautiful faces, we are live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. How'd I do?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Killed it.
You're welcome, Audrey. Thanks for watching. Miss you. So over the break we were talking about having a break, like Thanksgiving break.
Yeah. 2 weeks away.
Yeah. We actually get more than 2 days off. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But we were talking about when is it the right time to put up a Christmas tree?
I mean, I'd have to say like the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay, so you're an after Thanksgiving person?
Yes.
I'm the same way. I already see a bunch of them around, and I feel like it's just disrespectful.
I'm an after Thanksgiving person too.
Yeah.
But like people are like, "What? As soon as November 1st hits, it's Christmas." And I'm like, "Thanksgiving."
Forgot. Okay, wait, I have another question. Do you Black Friday shop on Thanksgiving or the day after?
I usually don't. I usually do Cyber Monday.
Okay.
I think it depends because there were a couple of times like in high school where me and my stepmom would just go to Target like when it was open on Thanksgiving, so we wouldn't have to do like Black Friday Target because that's a whole nother beast. But most of the time I'd just go on Friday.
Okay.
Audrey says, "Yay, good job. You are great."
Thanks, Audrey.
No, you.
No, you're great.
No, I don't. I can't stand the Black Friday crowds. I'm out on that.
Really?
I'm not dying that much to get a Bluetooth speaker on sale or whatever it may be.
I'm not gonna be out all day. Like I wouldn't want to go just like shop on Black Friday. I'd go like if I want something in particular that I know is on sale, I'd go get that one thing and then I'd be like, all right, I'm going home.
Yeah, I guess that's understandable. But well, yeah, if you're going for one thing, but people that do like try to get all their shopping done on that day, I feel like that'd just be so stressful.
Oh, that'd
be exhausting.
Yeah.
Props to you, whoever does that, because I'd be exhausted.
Yeah.
That'd feel like a practice day.
Not even a day off.
Do you go Black Friday shopping?
Yeah, actually, my family we love shopping. So like
Nice.
after Thanksgiving, like after we eat dessert and stuff, like we're sitting there going through like all like the newspaper like, Black Friday articles, circling what we want, and then there were times that like we would go to stores at like midnight just to see. And like I've never bought anything big, like like those crazy deals on like TVs and stuff where you have to get like a ticket and then wait in line and then see like if there's even. I've never done that, but I have definitely gone just to see the crowds and like just to like be in that.
You stay up till midnight?
Yeah. Or we'll wait, or like my parents, they'll wake up at like 5 a.m. and they'll go to the store just to see what they have and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, I was just saying you go to bed early. I'm surprised you stay up till midnight in general. She goes to bed at like 9:30.
That is true. I only when there's practice the next day, then I have to go to bed early.
Have to get those 8 hours in.
Yes, 8 hours to the dot.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys ever sleep past 8 hours? Do you ever have a day where you're like, I don't have to do anything, I'm going to sleep past 8? Or are you just wired to the point to where you can't oversleep even if you wanted to?
There was one day I had practice the next day and I slept 12 hours. I absolutely zonked out. I like my head hit my pillow and I was out from like 6:30 to 6:30.
You probably needed it then.
Definitely. But like I was like, I had homework due last night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Do you ever get over 8 hours?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll like go to bed early, like on like a random weekday if I don't have any homework and I have nothing else to do. So sometimes I'll go to bed. But like on the weekends, like today, I mean, granted, today was like spring
fall back.
So like I woke up at like 6:45. I just popped up, and I still went to bed at like 9:30 last night.
Well, that's like 7:45.
Yeah. Okay. So then yes, sleeping a little bit. But yeah.
We got an extra hour of sleep tonight. How do you guys feel about daylight savings time real quick before we go? Do you guys hate it or you kind of like it?
I'm kind of indifferent about it. I don't
Yeah.
like it, but I don't hate it. I'm not like swayed one way or the other. I understand why we had it in the past, but I also understand why we're getting rid of it because we do have alarms now. and we don't need to rely on the sun.
I thought it was more just for that way when you're working and like throughout the day you have better weather while you're working because the sun's up already now at 6 a.m. the sun's already coming up, so it gives you a longer day, and then by the time you're off work anyways it's later, you don't need the sun anymore. I thought that was more of that.
I thought it was like for agriculture.
It is for agriculture, but I thought that was part of it, tied in with the farmers being able to see throughout the day as opposed to them losing. I don't know, I'd have to look it up, but I actually enjoy it because I do like seeing the sun when I wake up in the morning now.
It is harder to get up when the sun's down.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Yeah.
Those days I hit snooze.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
How do you feel about it?
I'm indifferent.
Really?
Yeah. I just like it when I was like, oh yay, extra hour. Cool.
Yeah.
That's
See
true.
you again next year. But I guess now not anymore.
Yeah. We spring forward and then we never fall back.
Never ever again.
That's a good way to end it. All right, appreciate you guys listening. This was The Deep End with Reagan Hinsey and Madison Ronquillo right here on 93.7 The Ticket. We got one more show left with Haas, and DP's going to be calling in as well for The Breeze. So that'll be a good one as always. Haas has a pretty good schedule on what he wants to talk about, so definitely stay tuned in. But appreciate you guys listening to The Deep End. We will see you guys next week.